Welcome, fans, to another Friday Night Insight. I'm your host, Jim Sella. I'm in studio with Jay Dash and Johnny Parlay. Super Bowl's on the horizon. Big game. What do you think, Dash?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Well, this is a big game coming up on Sunday. Tom Brady versus Russell Wilson. Wilson gets 2 Super Bowls. My theory, he's a Hall of Famer. Brady gets 4. I might kill myself.
Is that like a formula you have, just like a mathematical formula? 2 Super Bowls equals Hall of Fame?
Yes, 2 SB equal 1 HOF as a quarterback. That's the formula. I devised this formula when I was taking calculus in college. I was sitting there one day. The teacher was boring me. I knew everything he was saying because I'm the smartest person on the planet. So I just come up with this own formula, figure out Hall of Famers at the quarterback position. And after I added all this in, the derivatives and all that, boom, 2 SB equal 1 HOF.
The truth is, Ben Roethlisberger has 2 Super Bowls, so that's what you want. But then you see, Joe Flacco might get 2 Super Bowls someday.
Flacco will never even make it to another Super Bowl.
Back to the drawing board.
Even though I'm pretty sure I said that same exact thing about Russell Wilson
Yeah.
after last year's Super Bowl. So,
So get hyped, Baltimore. Next year is your year. You're going to be my preseason pick.
Baltimore, I will burn your city to the ground before I let Joe Flacco win another Super Bowl.
I'd press charges on that, Baltimore.
Well, Parlay's going into beast mode this week. That's right. We're going to have our big pick show coming up here later, so that's just a tease. Tune into that. We're going to give our Super Bowl picks, and we've been on a roll on the playoffs, so you know we're cashing that one.
Hey, if you guys think you're smarter than we are and you got your Super Bowl picks, send them to us on Twitter at bet_the_spread.
That's right. We want to hear what you guys got to say. We're also going to have a little prop bet contest on the pick show coming up here later, and y'all free to join.
Whoever gets more props than Dash wins the hat that he's been wearing for like 16 straight years.
The one that Uncle Dick LeBeau signed?
Yeah.
Or Uncle...
Uncle Bruce Arians.
Dick LeBeau.
Uncle Bruce.
I'll take Dick LeBeau. If one of them's going to be my uncle, it's going to be Richard.
Well, since the pick show is going to be dedicated to all Super Bowl all the time, let's talk about something other than that. We can talk about the players and the topics surrounding, but all the picks and predictions are coming in a separate show.
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Roger. I'm the biggest loser, Goodell. He had his State of the NFL address. They're ripping off the President's State of the Union there a little bit. He's talking about Deflategate.
Is there any relation to Goodell and Dash? Any family relations there?
I think they might be second cousins.
Nice.
You're dead wrong. Don't ever put me in the same sentence with Roger Goodell. I hate that guy.
Does anyone not hate that guy?
Oh, I've seen people
Robert
say
Kraft.
he does it the right way.
I think Goodell's the only person who doesn't hate Goodell.
Well, him and
His wife
Kraft.
hates him.
When his first comments on the NFL's investigation into the deflation of New England Patriots footballs, Commissioner Goodell said the league is looking into 2 principal areas and have made no judgments on their merits. According to Goodell, the 2 things the league are looking at are why were some footballs used in the game that were not in compliance with the rules, and was this a result of deliberate action?
I think Goodell did it.
Maybe he did. He loves Tom Brady.
that was a nothing statement, right? He's just
Yeah, it's stupid.
nothing.
All it says is people cheated and why. We knew that weeks ago.
And what is his
We knew
game
that
plan?
10 years ago.
Exactly.
His game plan is just let the game speak for itself. Hopefully it's a classic and everyone will forget.
Well, of course, the NFL never says anything until it's completely, solved in their mind. Goodell says, I want to emphasize we've made no judgments on these points and we will not compromise the investigation by engaging in speculation. He also said that the league will make public its final report, which is being prepared by investigator Ted Wells.
Speculate on this, Goodell. I'm going to kick your ass.
Robert Kraft said the Patriots owner, he wants an apology from the NFL
Yeah, I seen that.
if they're
Hilarious.
wrong on this.
Well, that ain't coming
Well, I
because
didn't
they're
see.
not wrong.
I didn't see if they're wrong part. I just seen Robert Kraft says that they're owed an apology.
Now it says here, Kraft said earlier in the week he wanted an apology from the NFL if the investigation finds no wrongdoing. Goodell said, this is my job, to pursue any allegation aggressively.
Well, the public wants an apology from your stylist in those different collared shirts you wear, Kraft. That's done. No more of that. The cuffs and the collars a different color than the shirt.
Robert Kraft
What's up
was
with
on
that?
an episode of Tosh.0.
Did he make a fool of himself?
Yes, he was doing a commercial with some girl, and there was a green screen behind him, but you didn't get to see what the green screen was. So you were just watching them try to act out the commercial. It was ridiculously funny.
These chumps.
Too much.
Tosh.0's garbage.
He's awesome.
So
Tosh, follow us on Twitter at
right.
@bet_the
Follow
spread.
us.
We follow you, man.
Well, so basically nothing resolved.
You follow him.
Nothing.
Oh, I never clicked follow on Tosh.0. Let me tell you that.
Someone's sneaking in, hacking the spread Twitter account.
Spread
Is it North
database.
Korea? Are you hacking us?
Kim Jong-un didn't like our segment we did on the interview.
Well, so we really learned nothing about Deflategate. It's really a nothingness, and there's no resolution, and there's no game plan, right?
As of right now, yeah, because they won't tell us squat. So, I mean, everybody's going to keep rushing to their own judgments. And that's the problem. I know they're not going to tell you everything in their investigation, but they're not telling us anything. So everybody's going to be free to make up their own assumptions. And that's bad for the NFL because in the court of public opinion, you are found guilty way more often than in real court, because all it takes is one or two stations to say Goodell's a hate monger, and next thing you know, half the world's going to think he's a racist.
Well, it's about 2 weeks since this story broke, and there's no resolution, no judgment, no nothing. Yet, Goodell is pretty quick to judge whenever Marshawn Lynch does something.
He hates Marshawn Lynch.
And he wastes no time there. There's no investigation happening there when he has to find him.
He finds him for grabbing his crotch.
Well,
the dude just likes Michael Jackson. Leave him alone.
I heard they were going to fine him for the hat he was wearing.
Yeah, because it's his own brand, and you're not allowed to promote any brand other than an NFL brand or the NFL sponsors.
I want someone wearing a spread hat next year. So,
Yeah.
Marshawn, you'll be there next year again, I'm sure. So wear the spread next year. And follow us on Twitter, too.
Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come on, Lynch. We love you, man. I love Skittles. You love Skittles. We could be good friends.
Well, listen, if you go back 1 week, you were hating on Lynch. You said he was garbage.
I like the dude. I didn't say he might be garbage on the field. That
He's
didn't mean I
not
didn't
garbage
like him.
on the field either, though. That's
Well,
the
not
problem.
in the playoffs.
You
He's
saying
actually really
you
good.
think you could take him in the squared circle?
Yes, I think I could.
I don't know about that.
Me and beast mode all the way. I'd be the wrestler who just talked smack the whole time, did 3 moves, and then ran out of the ring and hit you with a chair.
No chance. You're dead. In the words of Jay Dash, you're dead wrong.
Real quick, I read an article the other day. Mark Madden, when he worked for WCW as an announcer, was making $12,000 a month. That's insane.
I believe it. WCW.
I think
Yeah.
I'd stick with that gig.
He got fired.
Nice. Well,
Don't doubt that.
He started saying bad things about the ownership and some of the talent.
follow us anyway,
Fine.
Super Genius. That
Please
underscore
believe.
spread. We're trying to get that Twitter up to 100. Get us to triple digits
We need it.
followers.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch. If the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, Lynch has got to be their MVP.
You mean the Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
Well, you never know what's going to happen.
It's the only way Seattle's going to win. If Seattle wins, it'll be Lynch as the MVP. Because if he doesn't rush for 150 plus, they're not going to win. And if he does and they win and he gets 1 or 2 touchdowns, he's going to get the MVP.
That defense is shut down, though.
Yeah, but the defense is.
He's
Well,
not.
Richard Sherman is.
Richard Sherman's playing with one arm, dude.
Nah, he's not.
He's
He's
healthy.
not that hurt.
He's not healthy. He
He's
couldn't
healthy.
even move his arm at the end of the last game.
He's
That
fine.
was 2 weeks ago.
The only problem they said with him is his wife is going to have a kid maybe during the Super Bowl, and it's actually he may skip out on the Super Bowl if the kid is being born.
I didn't know any of that. Is that truth?
That's truth. Yes.
Dang.
Well, didn't your dad skip out on an important game when you were just a little parlay?
Oh, I'll never forget it. The big Little League World Series, not the Williamsport Little League World Series, but the Irwin Little League World Series. I was at second base, I dove, caught a screaming liner. It was the third out of the inning. I held it up, and I was going to throw it out there to him in the stands. And, I mean, I'm looking, and it's like, where's Papa Parlay? Nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere. That had to be a rough time in your childhood.
It's like I'm
And then
telling
when you said something about it when you went home, he probably shoved pine cones in your mouth again.
I don't even know if he was there. I just know that was the day after he stuffed me in basketball with a 3-foot height advantage. But that's framed parlay to who he was today.
That's it.
Tough as nails.
Tough as nails parlay. Well, a running back who's tough as nails, LeGarrette Blount. He likes to take part in that little Bob Marley ganja session. Him and Le'Veon Bell got arrested in Pittsburgh, about midway through the season somewhere?
Yeah.
He's actually free now. Charges were dropped. He completed 50 hours of community service in some Boston, helped some kids out, a youth home or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. He fulfilled his thing. Now he doesn't have to go to court. But yet Le'Veon Bell's still in trouble and might get suspended 2 games.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I think it's because he's a New England Patriot. And Goodell and Kraft are in cahoots.
Blountgate.
Blountgate. That's it. We got another gate going.
Yeah, I don't know how you can give one guy a different punishment when they're both doing the same place, doing the same thing.
I guess maybe because Bell was driving.
Yeah, whatever.
I think Blount was the one that had the 3/4 of an ounce on him.
He came in that little sweet spot.
He was ready to go.
A little sweet spot where it's not enough to get.
He was
charged
probably
seriously.
Le'Veon's dealer.
Might have been. The funny thing is they were on their way to a flight with the team, so they were just going to take almost an ounce of pot on their flight to whatever game. They were going to be burning them down all night.
What is it about Blount in the playoffs, though? This dude in the playoffs is a beast. The Steelers should have realized this, kept him around, and not had Ben Tate going.
I
don't care. Walk out on games. I don't care. You weren't playing anyways. Le'Veon Bell that game had 200 yards rushing. What? You should have walked out at halftime. We didn't need you.
Kobe went through a phase where he walked out of every third game, and he's still a Laker to this day.
The one thing I will say on Blount's behalf is it was 10 seconds before the end of the game. 10 seconds.
Maybe he had to,
Des
do
Bryant
number
did
2.
it. I don't see Des Bryant getting cut.
Well, Jerry Jones signs every degenerate that becomes a free agent in the NFL.
Well, you could easily come up with a story I had to, go number
Bengals.
2. That's why I left early. He didn't make any effort to make an excuse, right?
No?
So why not? Is there something else going on?
I don't know.
Talks behind
I
back
think
doors?
that Blount wasn't happy being the backup. He wanted to be the number 1 guy. He felt like he made a mistake leaving New England. I think him and Belichick had a little inside agreement, which is illegal in the NFL.
Belichick plays by the rules. What are you
Well,
talking
It's
about?
not like he was the number 1 out there when he went to New England, though. I mean, he was being used, but only one time he had more than 12 carries up until last week.
But did he ever have more than 12 carries for the Steelers? Probably not.
He had that 110 yards early in the season.
I think he got that on 11 carries.
Whatever.
It's almost like, I hate to say it, but Belichick, he's a great coach, and when he decides it's going to be your day, it's going to be your day, and he clearly decided that in the Indy game, and Blount he was beast mode.
30 carries, 148 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
You think the Patriots maybe had the field on hydraulics so that whenever Blount got the ball, he was always running downhill?
Yes, I think that.
Flat football straight to the zone.
Whatever it is, they blew him out.
The cheating zone or the danger zone?
The end zone.
He was on the highway to the danger zone driving around smoking weed. You never know what could happen. You might stop at a stop sign.
So is there an investigation into the walkout and the next day signing by the Pats?
Yes, Outside the Lines actually did a report on ESPN. Mark Madden's been talking about it. I've heard them mention it on The Fan here in Pittsburgh. I think it was on... Who does the show with Ron Cook?
Starkey.
No, isn't it that loser Filipponi?
Yeah, I think so.
Follow us, Filipponi.
Yeah, bleep you, Filipponi.
Yeah, that Fan, they're second-rate
Tell
station.
me that
I'll
I'm
you
not
what.
good enough for the Fan.
Dare they?
You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't want to work for that rag. That ain't no show. The spread's the show.
I make more money at the spread than I would have at the Fan, I'll tell you that.
Believe that. My 2.5 beer per show contract. I'm asking for an extension. I'll tell
My
you
shoes
what.
cost more than your house.
I think my performance warrants a raise next year.
A raise?
3 beers a show.
I might give you a 6er next year if you show up every week. I think Dash is skipping out on us next week.
Yep, you're beat.
Dash is rolling out. I don't even know how to edit this show, so you guys are just going to hear everything we say, so it don't really matter.
The big,
I'm just going to post it unedited, put a parental advisory on it.
Big Super Bowl wrap-up.
So what about Dash? You said something about there's these 3 old dudes that have been to every Super Bowl.
Yep. Let me see here. Their names are Donald Kreisman, Tom Henschel, and Larry Jacobson. They're all 72 or older.
Good Lord.
Yeah. The first Super Bowl was in 1967, and they've been to every one. In 2000, they met, and every year they go together now.
Now, my first question is, how the hell do you have enough money to be able to go to every Super Bowl in today's age?
Well, that's
right
what
here.
I want to know. Their occupations.
They're retired.
Well, listen, the first Super Bowl cost them $12 to get into.
Right.
Last year's Super Bowl cost them $1,200.
Yeah. And I bet you $12 was probably like maybe, what, $100 nowadays?
A
Back
little
then,
more than that, maybe.
Somewhere around there. Maybe not that much. I don't know. The Super Bowl wasn't as popular when they first started it. The TV
not at all.
is what made it such a big game and a big spectacle all around the world, and that's what brings in the revenue. I think it's something like $4.5 million for an ad this year.
So these guys, they probably make them go together. I don't think they all got together and said, "Oh, let's all be friends." I'm sure it was all kinds of marketing.
Well,
campaign.
they're old, dude. All their other friends are probably dead, so they just figured
Hey,
we might
bro.
as well become friends and start hanging out at the Super Bowl.
Spread's going to be going on in 2050. You know, we're going to be
2050.
Well,
old.
the NFL actually sets aside tickets for these three gentlemen.
And it says they
Well,
cost
where the hell
12
are my
grand this
tickets?
year.
That's what
I'll
I
go to
said,
every
too.
Super Bowl if you set aside tickets for me. Come on, I can afford $1,200 bucks.
Well, they set them aside and then say this is what they cost. It's not like there's a
Well, I'll
here's your
pay
tickets.
it. That's my point. I'll pay it, but I can't get my hands on those Super Bowl tickets. I don't know nobody in the Jewish mafia or anything. Come on.
You don't want to go to that game.
Well, not this year.
It's amateur. It's like St. Patrick's Day. The Super Bowl is the same as St. Patrick's Day. It's amateur hour. All these fake fans come out. Woo, yay, gimme, yeah, football. They don't care. You're either a representative for a sponsor or you're a fake fan.
Well, hey, listen, I went out on St. Patrick's Day this year, and I found myself a nice little lady, and it was a good time. She showed me around the city in ways that only she could.
Did she know that you were the host of the biggest talk show going?
I think she figured it out halfway through the night. Every bar I went into, eventually, after I'd talk a little bit, people would hear my voice, and it just resonates through the room. You know, it's such a catchy tune. As soon as you hear me, you turn around, then you start looking for Parlay. They couldn't find you. They got a little confused. Luckily, Big Easy was there, so he helped smooth it down a little
Oh,
bit.
the Big Easy. Always carrying the weight of the show,
Literally.
of the group. Anytime we go out, it's all Easy. He's the bodyguard. He's the big cheese.
Well, I don't know if I call him a bodyguard, because the last time somebody tried to get in your face, he sat over at a table and drank beer by himself while I tried to break a bottle and stab the guy.
Well, Parlay came out unscathed.
That's
so
right.
Either way, he's just the intimidation. He don't make the move.
He just stands there with his arms crossed.
I'm
sways back and forth because he drank too much.
We're coming out with spread shirts. People say, "Come get him." They say, "I'm with Big Easy."
Dash. Let's talk about a team that you actually like. You know who that is?
Arizona Cardinals.
The loser Pirates. Parlay.
Yeah.
Travis Snider's gone.
Oh, I was rejoicing. So
Gotta
much
love it.
rejoicing.
Gotta love it. That dude
He's
was
a good
garbage.
good number 4 off. He is not garbage.
He was garbage, dude.
Listen, he hit 264 last year, hit 13 jacks in just 320 at bats. If he'd have played as a everyday starter, he'd have been up around 20 home runs, hitting 264. I mean, not everybody hits 300.
Dude, his cheeks were more red than communist Russia.
Well, he backs up his players. He goes out and fights for them.
Right.
He struck out Joey Votto last year.
Right.
This
Right.
guy's
That was
awesome.
impressive to me.
How can you not like? Listen,
Is
he's
he
only
gonna-
26 years old. I hope he still has a long
Is he
career
going to
ahead of him.
start?
Big
I
Easy-
think he does have a
start.
chance to start. I believe right now they got rid of Nick Markakis. He's in Atlanta now. I think Travis Snider's going to start in right field for
Well,
Baltimore.
what did we get for him? Like a minor league pitcher.
Yeah, we got a minor. I think there was a second guy that came along afterwards. It was a player to be named later or something. But yeah, they got a pretty
How-
decent young pitcher.
How old is Travis Snider?
26 years old. He's been in the league for 6 years. So
You think
he
his
was,
face gets more red in the winter when it's cold?
Got to.
I'm sure.
Forces of nature.
Oh, look at this picture right here. His face is
Yeah,
red right
see,
there.
I'm telling you.
That
Dude
doesn't
definitely
mean
has
anything, though.
rosacea. You know, I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
I don't hate people because of their looks.
I just said I'm not hating.
Well, that's all you do is hate when it comes to baseball.
Well, now I hate on Travis Snider because he's garbage.
He's
Well,
not garbage.
I wasn't a big fan of Schneider. I really don't think he's that great. But, I mean, the fact that he's only 26, I may have to eat my parlay words. But I really don't think he's going to come to be anything special. He'll probably...
he's not-
He's Jack Wilson.
listen.
He's a Sunday starter, the day games.
When
Throw
he
him in the
first
day
came
games
out-
and that's why he's so red. He gets sunburned. He's always played day games.
When he was in the minors, he was a top 10 prospect. He was one of the better prospects in
And
all
when
of
he was
baseball.
in the majors, he was a bottom 4 outfielder.
The Big Easy was a
Not-
top 10
not-
prospect. And where's he at?
Yeah, I understand all prospects don't turn out.
He fizzled out.
He did.
Snider was supposed to be a
Too many
big
cake
home run
stands.
guy. He had a lot of power coming out of.
Isn't he a lefty?
minors. Yeah.
Lefty,
And he couldn't even hit the ball over the field at PNC Park.
PNC Park's a pitcher's ballpark. Here,
Right field.
True.
all of Pittsburgh is a pitcher's ballpark.
Dude, right field's like 340.
Go to Yankee Stadium and see what it is there. It's like
No, right
Little
field's
League.
like
PNC Park is 320 feet down right field line. That's just down the line, though.
if you hit it off the
And remember,
flag.
370's the power alley, right?
Power alley.
375
375.
for a lefty, yeah.
Power.
But remember, Travis Snider, if he'd have played a full season, he was on pace for 20 home runs.
If he'd have played a full season, he'd have been so tired his arms would have fallen off.
Get outta
And
here
his
with that.
stupid red
He
face
was
would have caught on
pitching.
fire.
But we'll see. What's calling over-under on his average next year? 265. Over-under, J-Dash.
Well, his career average is under that, but that's
210.
pretty much what he hit last season. I'd expect him to be around that. I'd say probably under 265, a little under.
About 250 over-under.
I'll go over 250.
Why don't we guess his average Price is Right rolls? Closest without
Good.
going over.
I'm going 241.
I'm going to say 262. We doing home runs here, too?
Might as
can.
well.
I'm going to say 226.
Well, if it's close, is it close without going
Without
over?
going over, yeah.
Price is
$1.
right.
I bet $1.
Yeah, you love the Price is Right. You're like a housewife.
Oh, it's a good time.
All right, homers. Oh,
Well, this
just predictions.
let's go with two of them. If he starts and if he's
Well,
a
average.
fill-in.
Okay, for the homers or for both?
No, just for home runs. Average should be whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Any amount
So
of games.
I'll say if he's an everyday starter, plays between 140 and 162 games, I'm going to say he hits 22 home runs.
Dang. Wow. This ain't
Listen,
the steroid era.
He was
Nash.
on pace for 20 in Pittsburgh, and now he's in Baltimore. That's not a pitcher's park. It's totally different.
Truth be told, Camden Yards.
Oreos.
What do you think? Is sell a donut?
Wait, if he's a full-time starter, he'll hit 11.
I'm gonna pull the Price is Right card and go 10.
Oh!
Going 10. His career is
Should've
about to
just
take a
went
downturn.
one. He's only
Should've
26 years old. He's about to hit his prime. Anyways, if he's not a full-time player, I'm going to say he hits still like 13 home runs.
Who would have thought we'd have devoted 15 minutes to Travis Snider on the
He was
spread?
He
Follow
must
us.
be doing something right.
He's
Follow
a great
us.
locker room guy. The players loved him. He fought for him. He struck out
Dude,
Joey
I
Votto, one
heard
of the
that
best
he would
hitters.
eat a bunch of beef jerky before the games and chili and then be farting all the time, and the players didn't want to sit near him on the bench. That's what I heard.
Yeah, okay.
Ripping major gas.
Always getting the inside scoop at the spread.
Believe it. I got sources everywhere.
But we'll see who's correct and who's dead wrong.
You got to keep that sheet of paper for a year now.
That goes.
Good luck with that.
We'll throw that up on the spread dry
Spread
erase
marker
board.
Well, we only got one game this week to pick for our pick of the week, but before we get into our picks of the week, we got to get into our dog's pick of the week.
So how's this work?
This is Parlay's invention. He puts a treat in a bowl marked Seattle and a bowl marked New England, and then you let the dog come over and pick a treat. And whichever bowl they pick is who's going to win.
That's right.
I got 3 dogs, spread sweep in the canine department, all going Seattle.
I don't blame him.
These dogs, they're onto something. I don't know if I'm telling you, these bulls were not tampered with. I didn't put any catnip in the bottom
Were they
of them.
deflated?
No, these were identical bulls. They were both, what's that brand? Like,
Paper?
no. These are Solo, I don't know, Bounty. The same exact bull. They were paper bulls. We had the teams written on the bottom of them, and same treat, everything. But these dogs were on the hunt. In the Jim Sella household, it was a spread sweep, Seattle.
Would you say they sniffed out the winner?
Nice. That joke was rough.
I don't even see anyone around. That's how loud the boos from throughout the listenership is. Those are coming from everywhere.
Brutal.
But in the Parlay household, the dogs which Parlay does not own, they just live
They're
with
foster
him.
dogs.
Foster dogs. It was a spread split. We had the Yukon, the Husky, going with Seattle, but we had Big White going with New England.
See, Big White knows what's up. That's why when I come over there, instantly comes over to hang out with me.
Although I am a big fan of Big White.
Big White knows what's up.
Big White went New England, so.
All day. Tom Brady versus Russell Wilson. Bleep you, Russell Wilson. I think I do hate you more than Tom Brady.
Good
At least
Lord.
Brady's banging a hot chick.
Now for the Homo erectus picks. Stand on two legs. Who we starting with? Who wants to take it? Who wants to make their pick?
I'm going to say it's all about defense. Defense. I hate Tom Brady. I will never pick that dude to win a Super Bowl again. Yeah, he's handled dozens of balls in his life.
He's probably gargled a few.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good Lord.
So I'm going to go with Seattle. It's at a pick 'em, correct? We're going to pick 'em.
Yeah, game's even.
We're gonna go with the pick. It may be Seattle +1 when it comes to game time, but we're just gonna go with the pick to prevent any ties, any pushes here at the spread. But I'm with J Dash on this one. I'm feeling Seattle. I agree with J Dash. It always comes down to defense. Look what they did to Peyton Manning last year. Everyone thought there was so much action on Denver last year. Everyone's like Peyton can't be stopped, but Seattle shut him down, and it always comes down to D.
Well, we know I hate Russell Wilson, so I'm going with Big White in New England. And if you want to go with me, it's all money, baby.
No chance. Someone hijacked the soundboard on that one.
You hate Russell Wilson, but you like Tom Brady.
Nope, I hate them both. I just hate Wilson more.
Garbage.
Well, begin the countdown. It's the final countdown to the biggest game of the year.
Final countdown.
That's right. It's almost time for the big game, folks.
Got to get ready for it.
If you want the straight-up analysis, tune into the pick show.
Both will be posted tonight, maybe tomorrow, depending on if I fall asleep. Depends on how many beers I have before I got to work in the morning.
So probably tomorrow.
It's looking that way. Well, I want to thank you fans for tuning in. Thank you, Dash and Parlay, for sitting in. Thank the dogs for their picks. Me and Big White definitely know what's up. The rest of you dogs, garbage.
Beast mode.
Peace.